Did you hear that, folks? That's the sound of Don't Starve Together's newest ocean privateers, aka pirate raids. They are a new threat on the water, and a threat they are indeed. From annoying powder monkeys to a beefed up captain, we're not exactly the kings of the sea anymore. It's gonna be a tough fight, but believe you me, sending them to Davy Jones's locker is gonna be worth it. If we can find them, that is, as it's probably gonna be more likely that they find us. It is all but confirmed that pirate raids occur most often near the Wonkey Island. However, with some help from my community, we also discovered that it all depends on just how far we are from said island. In fact, the closer we get to the Wonkey Queen herself, the faster the game is going to go about checking in order to spawn a raid. This also means that if we do get a raid, the game is telling us that the island must be close, so do note there. But also note the 3 rings here. They are definitely not fully accurate, but the point is, raids can and still will spawn quite far away from the island. Even still, they're gonna be random, and potentially quite slow to arrive on default settings, so it will be up to you to decide whether or not you do want to be raided quickly and often. But whatever the case, their spawns themselves will also be random, as they sorta kinda just pop up out of nowhere, be it in deep waters, or even when we've barely left the coast. To me, it seems that all that matters is our position in one of these rings. If we're in one, we are gonna spawn one of these guys anywhere, at any time. Heck, I've even seen raids spawn when I'm not even alive, for Pete's sake. They will check us out like this for sure, but if they can't pillage or steal from our inventories, they're just gonna dip out and despawn, as you can see. And yes, in case you're wondering, Wonkey can absolutely still get raids to spawn nearby. However, he will be completely neutral to pirate monkeys anyways, so he really doesn't have anything to worry about. In fact, Wonkey is the only character who can actually hitch a ride with these guys at the end of the day, because even if another character doesn't have anything in their inventory and are neutral to these guys, the captain will still boot us off their boats. And speaking of captains, you should probably note that they're the ones that will repair leaks on their boats. But what about the rest of us, Beard? What exactly are we dealing with? Well, every raid appears to have 4 powder monkeys and 1 prime mate to them, meaning we're in for a world of hurt if we're not prepared. 27.2 damage per hit per monkey alone, plus their ability to knock things out of our inventories. Yeah, not great. Especially when we have so little space on a boat to do anything, but also when we factor in how captains recently got buffed to 51 damage a hit. They have decent health pools to boot, so do not underestimate them. So then, what are our options? Well, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure yet. I mean, I have noticed that if we drop our loot before they board, they will leave us alone. But all of our loot is gonna be gone before we know it. And no, chests and chest-like things are not safe here. Powder monkeys will pillage all if they have to, and even mess with or completely destroy structures at the end of the day, which is something I wasn't expecting. And no, I'm not joking. I've had them break chests, lower anchors, and even smash my sails. They're here to annoy us, and that they will. If we let them, of course. For you see, the one and only true counter I found for these things is the pamphlets. Yeah, sure, Abigail will wreck them, but not everyone plays Wendy. And yeah, sure, a group of players is gonna be fine, but not everyone plays multiplayer. So trust me, the pamphlet allows us to kill them one by one with ease. But before we get to pirate raid loot, I would like to mention a few things, like how raids themselves won't always spawn immediately aggroed onto us. No. They actually have to be a certain distance away from us in order to start their assault. So use that to your advantage if and when you can by simply sailing away from them to have them despawn. I don't think we're out sailing these things at the end of the day, not without the fastest sails we've got, and with cannons being pretty not great for most situations, I'm not too sure what else to say. Seriously, I have no idea why Quay even added cannons if they're not going to give us the option to actually aim the dang things. You might hit all monkeys for 160 damage. Great. Or you might just miss and do absolutely nothing because your cannons weren't facing the right direction and you didn't have a rudder. You might also just puncture a hole in their boat, but they're just gonna patch it back up anyways. And by the time you figure out any of that, they're probably just done and have stolen all your stuff, and now they've sailed off and despawned. Not great. But let's say that does actually happen. Can we get it all back? Yes. Yes, we can. At least we're supposed to be able to, that is. For you see, if a raid does despawn with loot, the game creates a random X marks the spot somewhere that should have it all inside it. Or, if there's already an X on the map and you haven't dug it yet, your loot should be in there too. The issues, however, yes, plural, are that currently, the game not only doesn't tell us about or display said X's on our maps, but also that digging these loot-filled treasures crashes the game almost every time without fail. But make notes, as the mechanic is there, it's just not working yet. All that said, pirate raid loot is here and is working. Now we've recently discussed a lot of these, while others were literally just found today. But we've got monkey hats, a new crockpot food, treasure maps of course, some weapons, tree jam even, and more. But I think the cutlass and jam can likely be ignored if I'm honest, so we're gonna do just that. And I guess the boat counts too as new loot, but it's no different from our boats beyond the color, so let's just talk the real fun stuff, yeah? Bandanas will have us raising anchors far faster than normal, even in far deeper waters, mind. They will also keep the durabilities of our oars going far stronger while atop our noggins, in case you have forgotten that. And finally, they will even let us raise sails darn near instantly with but a single click, which might be the best thing. Captain monkeys will drop battle paddles that now deal 51 damage a hit for 100 uses in combat, but can still act as oars that are now 10% better than driftwood ones, so bonus points all around. Prime mates also drop their tricorn hats that do go into another craft here soon, but for now, just know that they reduce the amount of damage our boats take by roughly half while we are wearing them, so that's a big plus. And lastly, pirate maps, of which we can only use one at a time as I just found out, so make a gigantic note here. Seriously, the game is gonna eat any other map that we read. So read one, dig that one up, and then read the others. At least for now. And as far as the loot goes for these things, it appears to be quite random. And like super duper random. The first one I ever dug up gave me trees, a monkey, bees, and everything. But the majority of the time should still see us getting blueprints for Moon Key flag banners and something called a Polly Roger hats. However, the rest is still gonna be quite unknown for the time being. Heck, I even got a banana shake out of one, which technically is another potential captain drop mind, but can also just be made by us via crockpots. And yes, the flags are purely decorations and have no impact on pirate raids whatsoever, which is kind of unfortunate actually. But to wrap up our day fully, comes Polly Roger. Create the hat and place it atop your noggin, and Polly Roger will swoop down and collect loose loot for us for almost 6 days. Yup, it's as simple as that. And they'll do it over water and cave holes too. So have fun. And yes, the hat can be sewn back up if and when needed, which is a huge bonus. And there you have it, everyone. Hopefully, a close to comprehensive guide on pirate raids within Don't Starve Together here, and more specifically, the pirate raids of the newest update, Curse of the Moon Key. I did the best with what I could, folks. Some of this is done broken, and a lot of it might still actually be unknown. We're not quite sure the best ways to deal with these guys yet. I would anticipate some tweaks here and there moving forward, and I will be sure to cover them when I can, if I can. Oh, and do mind those accursed trinkets throughout all this. You're gonna want to find that island eventually. But thanks for watching, folks. Well wishes to all, sound the flutes, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.